Yesterday, he was in Tanzania.
As you can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be. We'll be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just have to get off the elevator. Look at it, look at it. The BMT shirt on, you know, we representing all the Thailand, man. Our money.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I got to do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you're repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Blackmen Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more. All right, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. Today we have a classic. I got my good friend, International Zoe Barber World, in the building. He's currently in South Africa. What's going on today, my brother?
Everything is wonderful. Can't you tell by my smile?
Yeah, I already know, man. I already know how to go, man. You know, every time we link up, man, it's just so good energy. I think we linked up in Colombia, Brazil, DR.
Yeah.
So I'm always running into you. I don't even know. I don't think you're in another country, but you be in a different country, you know? So
Yep.
It's dope, man. Lovely. So I want to start from the beginning. Before we get to South Africa and all your travels around the world, I want to start at the very beginning, man. Before you started traveling, you know, what was life like for Barber World back in the day, bro? Like back in New York, what was life like before the passport gang got to you?
Okay, I was a young brother growing up in Harlem. I was born in Brooklyn. I was raised in Harlem. So I feel like I got a nice mix of flavor. Coming from Brooklyn, living in Harlem, you know, Harlem has always been fashionable, fly, flashy, colorful. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of my swag from growing up in Harlem, and I got a little bit of that Brooklyn flavor too, you know? So I feel like I got the best of both worlds growing up in New York City. From my age group, I was witness to a whole bunch of hip hop and culture, which became the most popular culture now. Hip hop culture is pop culture. Growing up under that influence, I think barbering is like the sixth element of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because you could never see, I mean, even some of the rappers are synonymous with their haircuts, performers, Big Daddy Kane, the flat top, EST, the Philly dudes with the Gumby and Bobby Brown, like to go along with the Fly Dapper Dan and the outfits and the clothes and the Pelles and the haircut is just important to your whole makeup. You know what I mean? So me growing up, getting some clippers in my hand from my older brother, learning on myself, getting in the barber game at a young age. I was hip hop crazy. I was a dancer. I went from doing electric boogie to hip hop dancing to dancing for a recording artist. Some of you might know if y'all old enough. Special Ed.
We already know Special Ed. Yeah.
I used to dance. So the Magnificent video you see with Malcolm Jamal Warner directing, I was in that video. I was in the Mission video. I was in Come On, Let's Move It. So I was in hip hop. From there, I started my own rap group, Jiggy. We had 2 singles, self-titled album, Toss It Up, Rake It in the Dough. You can look all, no cap, you can look all this up on YouTube. The videos are there. So while I was in the music business, I was cutting hair as well. I went from dancer to performer, rapper to manager and producer. I used to manage Poster Boy, if y'all know, from 106 in Park. The first kid they retired from Freestyle Friday. That's my little cousin. I managed him. So I'm heavily into the hip hop culture, the New York culture, which is now pop culture. Maybe that's why I'm really good on camera. I'm really comfortable on camera. I've been in front of the camera most of my life, or at least half of my life.
Okay, so you was pretty much there, like the beginning elements of hip hop. Like its purest form, where people were, communicating with each other, like knowledge and different reporting of the neighborhoods and stuff before it got kind of like super commercialized. What do you see like the big difference between hip hop when you was performing in the hip hop right now in its current state?
I just think it's just global now, and it was bound to grow that way. You know what I'm saying? Too bad the people in the beginning. It's always like that, in the beginning, those guys, they don't get maybe the credit they deserve. They don't get the reward, you know what I'm saying, for laying down the foundation. But that's what with most things. But hip hop has come a long way, man. And it's a beautiful thing. Traveling around the world, I've seen how much hip hop has inspired other musical genres and influence other cultures and people. Reggaeton is from hip hop. Funky is from hip hop. Even on the piano is from house music. You know what I'm saying? Afro beats is from hip hop. So it's all derived from the drum. It's all derived from hip hop. And I see literally. I mean, where you are now, Thailand. You go to 808. You go to Flex. I mean, those are the hip hop spots. Those are the spots you're going to see the brothers, and those are the spots you're going to see the ladies that like the brothers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They be shapely too. They be having nice little figures on them.
Yeah, they know what to bring to the table too for the brothers.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny, man, because I might be, in Colombia somewhere. You used to hear hip hop in DR all the time, but I might be in Colombia somewhere. And I'm thinking I'm kind of with the locals a little bit, and then you hear Biggie or Tupac blasting. You like, what y'all know about this? Like they're playing the real classic hip hop out there.
Yeah, I'm in the clubs here, and they playing piano, Afro beats, and hip hop, and they know all the lyrics. I mean, not only do they know the lyrics, the girls know the movements. You understand what I'm saying? Like the attitude that goes with the music. It's all there. You like, if I close my eyes and you didn't tell me I was in South Africa, you would think you were in any high-end fly club in a major city in America. For real.
Yeah, I seen that last video you dropped of that club, man. It looked real nice in there. It was dope.
There's an hour-long version for the members. I put the first 30 minutes. I got to edit the second 30 minutes.
Okay.
That joint was off the hook.
And what was that? Was that in Cape Town?
That was in Cape Town, yes. I'm going out tonight. There's so much nightlife in Joburg. I mean, I got a list from people. I met a few people, a few brothers that have been here. I mean, it's like 15 happening clubs around where I am. I like 15 of them. Whether bar lounges or just clubs, it's crazy. The nightlife is crazy here.
Now, would you if you had to compare it to another country's like nightlife, would it be similar to America, Brazil, DRs?
The nightlife here is similar to America, and maybe similar to Barcelona, Spain.
Okay,
like they really party. And I would say maybe America more so because that bottle thing is crazy here.
Yeah,
like bottles going to the table.
Video. Yeah.
No, that ain't nothing to what was really going on. I mean, bottles going to the table was like literally almost every 5 minutes, a bottle was going to a section or a table. And it wasn't one bottle. They were kept ordering bottles. I'm like, damn, they got money like that. Somebody said they order bottles because you can't get a section or place to sit unless you having bottle service. But the amount of bottles, and somebody was like, "Oh, are they working girls?" I ain't never seen working girls ordering bottles to the table like that. And it's groups. They go out in groups. The girls, groups of 5, groups of 6, 7, 8. So, and it was bottle after bottle. I was like, I'll just say this: your pockets better be right if you come into South Africa.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Like, what's the exchange rate there? What's the currency exchange?
Like 1 to 15, because $100 US is 1,500 rand.
Okay.
So it's something like that. Now the food, the drinks are not as expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The Airbnbs I'm staying in, they're like $40, $50 a night in the top areas. You know what I mean? So it's I'm not going to put it up in the top 5 yet because I want to come back in the summer. But I got a good feeling because it's wintertime here right now. Mm-hmm. So if it's lit in the wintertime, I can just imagine how it's going to be in the summertime.
Okay. So if you had the price comparison, would it be like more or less expensive than Brazil?
Around there, or maybe a little better. Or maybe a little better. Because we've been to places in Brazil to get in most of the clubs is 100 rand. 100 rand is like $3, $4. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I just ate. I just had and maybe what I paid 600 and something rand. So that's like that was with 4 drinks, appetizer. So it was like a little under $50 for a whole lot of food. Mm-hmm. If I would have ate by myself, I could have spent like $16, $10 in a seafood restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The change is pretty good here. The food, the drinks are very affordable. This is high-end spots.
Okay.
So, and even South Africans is like, yo, y'all should invest here.
Mm-hmm.
You can blow up here. You can become rich here. The girl told me last night, you can become American rich here in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
She said a lot of the businesses are run and owned by foreigners.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And they pretty much, their main language is English out there, right?
They speak like 4 different dialects, from the Zulu to I can't remember the names, but they all speak English. And they have like a British undertone, their English accent in South Africa. It's like a British undertone. I mean, they were their oppressors or whatever you want to call it. So the influence is there. But yeah, I feel really good being able to speak to people in English.
What you saying, man? Yeah.
Even though sometimes they go into their own language and dialect in front of you, but for the most part, even if you're standing on the side hustling, it's like they're speaking English most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that's a good thing, man. Like being in Brazil and Colombia, sometimes you try to communicate with the females. Like you want to really show your personality, but it's hard to show through your personality when you can't connect with her through the language like that.
Yes, and your intelligence. Right. When you're able to show your intelligence along with your personality. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's part of your personality, but you're able to use words and you're able to show your humor. It's been a while since I've been able to impress girls just with my talk. You know what I mean? Like here, I've been able to impress girls with just being me, being able to communicate the way I would normally communicate. It's definitely played a difference.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick, man. Like the little dating scene out there. Did you pregame with the Tinder out there? Like, how do you meet women when you go out to South Africa?
Okay, I did Tinder. Got a lot of matches on Tinder, but the Tinder game is a lot of big girls on Tinder.
Uh-oh.
I mean, a lot of big girls. I mean, heavyweight lovers. I mean, like, who? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I went out to the club, it wasn't the same. The girls were in shape. The girls got big bottoms or slim thick. the girls would look much better at the nightlife than what Tinder had to offer. Now, and you get a little catfish with Tinder, because the same thing happened to me in Tanzania. They'll have 3 pictures of themselves. One picture with their natural hair, which is usually a low haircut, a Caesar, a small afro. They have one picture with braids, and they have one picture with a wig. If you're lucky, you know, because some of them might just have the wigs. And I was just saying that earlier, the wig game is not the same as in America, where the wig game in America is so high level that you can't tell that it's a wig. Here, like, some of their wigs look kind of bad, depending on the level they're on. You know what I'm saying? And they will take the wig off at night, and you be like, "Oh shit, you got a frizzo."
So you saying that they don't have like the expensive $200-300 lace fronts and all that out there? It's just
that lace front is not
great wig game.
I mean, like,
oh man,
to the side, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like sophisticated like in America, in my opinion. Now it depends on the level of the chick, I guess, because I have saw some chicks joints was right, but on Tinder they wasn't right, and even some that I met in person, they seem to have. You know, I'm a barber.
Right, yeah.
You know, I'm a barber, so I'm into hair. You know what I mean? So, but they seem to not have. They seem to have had an effect on braiding their hair so much, because a lot of them have broken edges on their forehead. And I don't know that's from having tight braids for so long, but a lot of them have problems around the hairline here where it's receding. I've noticed that here in South Africa, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm a barber, so I'm always looking at people's hair, men and women. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. And do they like use like the little filters to light? Because I know sometimes over here you on Tinder they use the little filters to lighten their skin up a little bit.
Yeah, you got what's the Michael Jackson line that Kanye said she got a light skinned friend look like Michael Jackson got a dark skinned friend look like. Yeah, so they kind of, you'll see that on Tinder too. Like, they might come and be a shade darker. They might have their pictures on Tinder be a shade up or down. You know what I mean? So I'm a little bit weary of meeting people off of Tinder here in Africa. Like, certain places, this is my rule of thumb. There's 3 levels. If always go for the top level. Like, okay, for example, if you pick a 7, her best picture looks like a 7, she could go down to 5.
Okay.
Or if her best picture is a 8, the worst she could go down is 6. So don't ever get a 6 or a 5, because that could go down to 4 or 3. So that's my rule of thumb when I look on Tinder. Try and get something that look like an 8, because women know how to make themselves look their best. Men, we take a picture, we walk away. Thanks for taking a picture. We don't scrutinize the picture. We don't put filters on the picture. We don't change our complexion. We don't smooth out our skin. Women do that. All women do that. You know what I mean? So my rule of thumb is, if her best picture is a 6, I'm skipping that. You know what I'm saying? And if they only have face shots,
oh yeah, we know about that. Yeah.
Basically, if the shot is from above, Nah, if they don't got full body shots, skip it. Unless you like big girls. I mean, if it's a dude that like BBWs, you hit the jackpot.
South Africa got the big BBWs, a bunch.
Oh, on Tinder? Oh my God. Now, I didn't see them in that abundance out in the clubs. And that's maybe because the girls in the clubs are younger. but on Tinder, ooh, they got the big girls. But I was definitely fully impressed inside the clubs what the girls look like, especially that Club Saint. Man, those girls were good.
Yeah, it was nice. They had some nice figures in there.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob, because Rob from No Excuse. He's the one that told me to come to South Africa. I was going to go with him, but I missed it. I got to give him a shout out because I give credit where credit due.
Yeah, he was. We did a couple of shows about that back in the day about
South
Africa over Brazil.
He's been a big promoter of South Africa. I thought he was capping a little bit, but now I see his point.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to my dude Andre and Andrea from Andrea Love Crossing Borders. My dude Andre out there in Colombia. He says the South African women off the list. Off the list. Do they not make the bad foreign girl list?
Oh no, they on the list.
They on the list. Okay.
They definitely on the list.
Okay.
And now, they seem to be, out of all the women I've met and all the places I've been to, they seem to be the most intelligent.
Okay.
If that matters to some of you, it matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even the young girls are intelligent.
Mm-hmm. So when you say intelligent, you mean like they have careers, education, or just their conversation game is up to par?
You can tell by the level of their vocabulary,
okay.
their use of the language, proper English, their knowledge of more than one language. Most of the girls that come across have been college educated. So, there's a lot of, and I only been here for a little bit of time. And
let me ask you this: is there like you being African American? Are there any like hiccups with you being African American and then dating the girls? Are they kind of tribal out there, right?
Travel or tribal?
Tribal. Like, does it matter if you're African American out there?
It doesn't seem to be like the way, it seems that I stand out somewhat. Some of them said, you didn't stand out that much until you started speaking.
Okay.
But I think anywhere you go, okay, let's put it like this. If you want to visit a country, right? Or want to visit a city in a country, right? And New York is one of those places that most people want to visit around the world. It's one of the top places that most people want to visit at least once. Not that they want to live there, but they're major cities in America that people want to visit. There's New York, there's Miami, there's California, and new added to the list is Atlanta because of the music. Right? Before, when I used to travel, I didn't hear Atlanta. But now I hear people say, I want to travel to Atlanta. I want to visit Atlanta. So, being that I'm from New York and being that I'm American, I get a little extra bump being from New York because people are intrigued by New York. I hear often that, wow, I want to visit there one day, whether it's a taxi cab driver or a girl I might meet in the club or on Tinder. They're intrigued with me being from New York and they have some questions and they say it's on their list of places they dream to one day visit New York. So when it comes to starting a conversation, sometimes that helps, in my opinion.
Okay. Shout out to Delane Isaac with the $20 super chat, bro. I really appreciate that. Delane has a really good YouTube channel, by the way. He's a world traveler, so check his YouTube channel out.
Yeah, shout out to Delane.
Yeah, you know Delane too, right?
Yeah, I did a live with him, interview with him when he was with the other brother, but now he's got his own channel. I got to hook up with him in a minute.
For sure. He asked, appreciate the Interviews Barber World TV. How's the infrastructure out there, the internet connection, the real estate market, and safety? I was going to ask you that too about the safety. Okay.
The internet is fine. I have no problems with the internet. They got strong signals out here. I did get a card, SIM card here. I didn't really use it, but I have it. Everywhere I go, I keep a international phone. I get it just in case. I get it sometime if I'm out and I need Wi-Fi. I can get it from the SIM card from the phone that I buy, the SIM card from each country I visit. Man, Cape Town and Johannesburg is very metropolitan. The finer things in life, world-class restaurants. I mean, the Sancton City Mall is like any top designer. It's almost like being in Fifth Avenue in New York City. Madison Avenue, Fifth Avenue, the highest end malls you could think of, they have them. The highest levels of security in apartment buildings, they have them. Like my apartment building is fingerprint. You have to scan your finger, and you use your fingerprint to get inside the building. They take a picture of your face. Now, people say it is dangerous, like don't be walking out in the street at night. But it's not. I felt more safer here than Brazil and Colombia.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you go rural, you can't hang out by yourself late in Soweto or some areas. But the way people were telling me it was so dangerous in Johannesburg and not to come, yeah, I would just say this. There are dangerous areas in every country, but you don't have to go to the dangerous areas. So the likelihood of you having a problem is less likely if you're not in a dangerous area.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I've been in the malls by myself. I was with a girl in Soweto, just me and her. I've been in restaurants by myself. I went to clubs, me and a friend. I didn't ever feel unsafe. One, and the other thing is you're going to use Uber everywhere you go. So you're going to go take the Uber to the front door, go inside wherever you're going, and call the Uber and come out and get in the Uber. So it's not where like you're going to really be walking around by yourself, I don't think. But yeah, some areas are more dangerous than others, and people advise you if someone tells you that's a dangerous area just to stay out of it. But I haven't experienced anything myself.
Okay, you've been to Cape Town and Johannesburg, South Africa, right now.
Yeah, I'm in Johannesburg. I was in Cape Town. I was in Cape Town for 1 week. I was going to go to Durban, but I waited a little too long, and then the prices of the flights went up, and then there were no more straight flights. The layovers were in Johannesburg for 20 hours, 13 hours. So I'm going to fly home from Johannesburg. Johannesburg and Cape Town have the international airports. So I'm going to have to do Durban next time. But I heard Durban is lit too. Okay.
All right. We got 140 in the building. Make sure you hit that like button for your boy, fellas. Now, let me ask you this now. I don't know if you remember this conversation that we had on the beach out there in Brazil, right? I think you gave me your top. I think you might give me your top five countries. But this is before you went to South Africa.
Right.
Does South Africa, now you visit there, does it readjust the list, or you still got your same top five?
I don't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to make the top five. I don't want to say it is just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make the top five. I'm pretty sure.
Top five real quick.
Thailand.
Yep, I remember. Yeah, I'm trying to see if you remember. Go ahead.
Brazil, Colombia, the Philippines, and then I just throw in Dominican Republic because I've been there a lot of times. It's very convenient, and I like the flavor there. But it comes a time to graduate. You know what I'm saying? And it comes a time where you need to show your sophistication. I think South Africa is way more sophisticated than all of those places.
Okay.
So if you're a sophisticated brother, upwardly mobile, and ready for the next level, I think South Africa will make it in your top five.
Okay.
Because let's be honest, there ain't too much about Dominican Republic besides the fun and the women. It's not that much about it. Right. Now, Brazil is a different story. You got a lot to explore there. It's a huge country, 26 states and 120 something cities. Colombia, a little lower level. Now, there's a lot to explore in Southeast Asia. You know what I'm saying? More than, but you know what I'm saying? So South Africa to me is one of the more sophisticated countries I've visited. And I consider myself a sophisticated dude with a little touch of ratchet because I like to get a little ratchet. You know what I'm saying? But I could see myself being here more often. Like when people say they're looking for a woman, I could imagine you meeting a woman here that has something to bring to the table. Whereas other countries, you're going to be taking care of somebody.
100%. 100%.
Only. You know what I'm saying? The women here are educated, some of them. You can tell by the way they talk. You meet girls who said they graduated. So for the straight mongerers, maybe not so important. But people that are looking for more, for culture, for another place to move, for another place to do business, I could see South Africa being important to those guys.
Okay, like what's the general attitude out there with the women? Like, are they cooperation? They talk nice, or
you get a little bit confused, right? Because they're black women, right? And when you see them, maybe sometimes if they don't open their mouth, they look like women from the States. When I was in that club, you know, I was working, but I spoke to a couple women and I got a few numbers and they were cool. You know, they're black women, so they got a little, but it didn't come across like, okay, let's put it like this. They're not at the point where they have shut interaction with men down completely, like in America. The women have shut down the possibility of meeting a nice guy organically because of so many interactions with people, with guys turning out bad or being pricks or whatever. I didn't get that feeling here. Like women literally, I haven't gone out someplace and not met a female that I was able to engage with organically, whether they started the conversation or I started the conversation. I was walking and I'm gonna tell them the story. Y'all gonna see the video. Wait till y'all see the video. I was walking in Mandela Square. I took my picture under the Mandela statue. I was going up into the mall and the girl thought I was going into a restaurant called Tang. In this Mandela Square, they got all these world-class restaurants right next to each other. It's like 6 of them. She thought I was going into Tang, and the entrance up the steps was closed. She was like, it's closed. You have to go around. And she said, I was watching you, and I saw that you had a camera. She said, would you take my picture? And this girl was bad. Like I was like, I met my African queen. You know what I'm saying? Right. She was bad. She was like, can you take my picture? I was like, definitely. Right? So I take a few pictures of her and, you know, she's moving. I didn't want to say you're a model, you know what I mean? Because that's cliches. Beautiful woman, tall. Everybody like, oh, you're a model. You feel me? So I didn't say that. I took a few pictures of her. Here's me trying to tell her, you know, no, come over here and let's get the angle here, right?
Right.
So she's like, first I take 2 pictures. She said, let me see the pictures so I know if I can keep going on, right? So she looked at the pictures. She's like, no, these are good pictures. Okay, let's go, right? So I take a couple pictures of her, right? And she's like, let's take a picture together. Boom, we take a few pictures together. She takes a picture of me in front of Mandela. So then she's like, let me follow you on Instagram. So she follows me and then I follow her. But I don't look at her Instagram. I'm just, you know, me. I'm international zone, baby. I get girls all around the world. You feel me? Yeah. There ain't no chicken way. You feel me? So later on, I look at her because she was like, I'm gonna send you my number through Tinder. You know what I mean? Not Tinder, through IG. She said, I'm gonna send you my number through Instagram, right? So I was like, all right, you know, she was bad. I mean, she was bad. You feel me? She wasn't regular bad. She was bad. You feel me? And I'm even talking on my camera like, now that's what kind of African queen I'm looking for. You feel me? So I look at her Tinder later. I keep saying Tinder. Her IG, and she has 900,000 followers on Instagram with a check. So it says model, reality TV star, entrepreneur. Yo, this chick is a world-class model, dog.
You remember Instagram, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to show the video, but
okay, I got you.
I just had dinner with a girl, and I told her the story and showed her the picture, and she was like, "Oh my God, you met her?" And then she puts the pictures that I took of her on her Instagram today. Oh, nice. So I said, yo, you tricked me. You know what I'm saying? I said, you tricked me, but it's all good. So that's what kind of women you can run into in South Africa. Now, can you imagine that happening in America?
No.
A world model. Well, I looked at her page. She's at the Met Gala. She's in Paris. I mean, she got pictures all over the world modeling. She was a reality star, Big Brother Star TV reality. She's big. You feel me? Can you imagine that happening in America? No. Not at all. She was super cool, friendly, took a picture with me, and exchanged Instagrams. Nice. You know what I mean? So that's a big difference. And I met a girl last night. I went out to try to eat last night. It was closing down, started raining. The girl was sitting at the bar. We started talking. Boom, 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 boom. She tried to find a place for me to eat. You know what I mean? She took me to another spot. She told me some history on South Africa. And I met girls on the beach. Y'all seen that video? So the interaction with Black women is different here.
Okay.
I would say it's healthy here.
So the feminism hasn't reached out there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're pushovers. I don't think they're servitude. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's still a healthy relationship between men and women here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me get some of these super chats. Give a shout out to Gold Money Entertainment with $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I'll be in Accra. What's that? Abidjan, Nairobi this summer. Great interview. Appreciate that, Gold Money Entertainment. We got Charles Keys Senior in the building with a $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I'm not going to South Africa for a weaved up sister. I saw photos. Okay. All right. But you said they're not all weaved up. You said they got 3 different types.
Yeah, but they don't get me wrong. If I was you, I would go to South Africa. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of them are wearing their hair natural. Some of them, it's just the style here. Like Shorty showed me they know how to style their hair naturally too. They're gonna have braids, and they're gonna just they do the 3 here. They do the 3 here. I think the level of hair maintenance isn't here yet. So when I think that level, like if you do hair in America and you came out here, I think you could make a lot of money. You know what I mean? If you know how to do those front set, you could make money. Just like when the fake eyelashes came out, you got people at a level where they're dope, and you got people at a level where they're tacky. Same with nails. Some places they're at a level where it's dope, and some places at a level where it's still tacky.
Facts.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Reach with a $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I already have a business plan based off this information. Word is born. Appreciate that. Man. He must be from New York. He must be from New York.
Jay Clyde, what's good? See my man in the building.
Yeah, we all hung out on the beach together, didn't we?
Yeah.
I brought y'all to Baja Juka. Y'all was ready to go.
Yeah. It was a slow day that day. It was a slow day.
Yeah, man. Wow, off the chain though. That's the next move out there in Brazil for real.
Yeah, it's definitely dope though. It's just more white girls.
Yeah, it is more.
Yeah.
More that. And I got a question for my dude Andre again. And this is a commonly asked question because I know you've been to Tanzania?
Yeah.
Tanzania. He says, "Is deodorant and perfume common out there? So do the girls smell good in South Africa?" But hold on now, Zo. I don't like that pause, bro. Hold on.
Listen, I keep everything 100%.
Yeah, you gotta keep it a buck now.
I keep things a buck. Tanzania was worse, a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, if you get in a taxi here, you might smell a little bit of musky. Mm-hmm. But I haven't smelled girls that smell musky, no. Mm-hmm. The girls smell good. Mm-hmm. And I've been close with a couple girls. Mm-hmm. They smell good.
Okay.
No cap.
Now you had one on you because I haven't seen you do this in a while now. The late night thirst. Let's talk about the late night thirst.
Oh man,
you did one in South Africa, right?
In Cape Town, yeah, it went terribly bad. That's why I kind of stopped doing it. Like what she did is not what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? And once the camera's on, you don't know what you're going to get. That has happened before, but yeah, she was a wild one. You know, she was for the streets.
Now tell the audience exactly what is late night thirst for people that might not know.
Okay, late night thirst is an organic interview with a girl at night. Initially, I did it one time in Brazil, and dudes was going crazy. So I said, damn, dudes is acting thirsty. And I said, I need a name for this joint. And I called it the Late Night Thirst. And I asked the guys, I said, is that being disrespectful to y'all? They said, nah, we thirsty. So I said, all right, I'm going to stick the name, the Late Night Thirst. It's more like a joke. It's satire. But I want people to see some of the beautiful women of the country. And it was kind of getting sketchy. So as you see, I started just interviewing girls on the beach to get away from them being inside my home. You know what I'm saying? But it's cold here. It's winter here. And I did get some girls on the beach that I did a live with and Capes Bay. But, you know, people ask me when you're going to do another late night thirst, are we going to get a late night thirst in South Africa? So I did it, but it kind of went bad. It was, in my opinion, it was a little untaste-worthy, but what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I let it go.
You have all your late night thirsts. You took them off YouTube, but you put them on your Patreon, right?
Yeah, I have them mostly on my members. But I've been getting information from the YouTube community that YouTube has a problem distinguishing your channel, whether it's a live channel or whether it's an uploaded video channel. And I think that could be hurting my views because my lives always do way better than my uploaded videos a lot of the time. And I didn't know that, you know what I mean? And so I tried to stop also. So I have another channel called International Zoe Show. I didn't upload anything on there, but I'm seriously considering doing all my lives from that channel to separate it. And, like a lot of my content is pretty good content and good information. So I don't want to kind of ruin that with my extracurricular activity. So I might just separate that and put that on a separate channel where y'all get some Megatron.
That's a good move, though. Yeah, that's a good move. It's definitely a good move. I want to give a shout out to Jay Rags. He's out there in Colombia with the 10,000 Colombian pesos. I really appreciate that. He just says, "Hola, bro." It's my dude Jay out there. DJing out there in Colombia. Shout out to him. Now I'm looking at the chat. Everybody said they love that late night tourist, man. They said that's one of your best ones.
I know they like it.
Zoe, that late night thirst in Cape Town was mad dope. I got that one. I got D that says we need late night thirst the same way we need BET Uncut. Bring it back. Hey, they say I ain't complaining.
I feel more comfortable doing a late night thirst on a separate channel. You feel me? You know what I mean? Because I have women that watch my channel too, right? And they don't like the late night thirst. They like the other things I do, but they don't like the late night thirst, right? So I could be like, if you don't like the late night thirst, then don't follow, you know what I'm saying? The International Zone Show, you feel me? Those people that like the late night thirst, subscribe to the International Zone Show, and we can have our party.
Let me ask you this. I saw you did some trips through Europe as well, right? I know you didn't put none of those countries in your top 5. What's your thoughts on Europe?
My favorite countries in Europe, I've only been to about 6. But my favorite countries in Europe is Paris, Spain, Barcelona. Beautiful. Even Portugal, beautiful country. To me, Europe, the places I've been, it's more about the structure, the architecture, the layout of the country, the richness of the country. It's not so much about the women. You know what I mean? It's not so much about the mongering there. You know, it's different. You know what I mean? You can get that there, yes, but it's different. And I love beautiful women, but I would say I'm probably not as attracted to Caucasian women as women of color.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong, I love all of God's children, but that's not my preference per se. You know what I mean? It has to be something unique about them. Like, you know, even some Caucasian women kind of got like a Latin look or look like they mix. You know, that would still appeal to me more than just.
And to be honest, most of us travel, we kind of prefer the Afro type, you know, curly, you know, melanated women.
It's brothers that like white women. It's definitely brothers that like white women. But
well,
you know,
that's like what you consider white women at this point internationally.
Yeah,
because the women in Brazil that are white are way different than women that are white in America. You know? Like women in Brazil might have a little bit more flavor to them, might have a little more bottom to them out there.
Yeah, that's the beauty. I mean, I never seen so many white women with beautiful bottoms as I've seen in Brazil. I mean, like you go on LeBlanc Beach and Barra de Juca, and you be like, what?
What? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, some of them be pale white with donkey. Like, oh my God.
That's what I realized. I was like, Portuguese women must have some things back there.
It's like a beach full of unicorns.
All right, so let me ask you this, man. We're gonna get to the women part.
Okay.
All the countries you've been to, right? If you had to choose a wife, right, from a certain country, what country would you choose a wife from?
Based on what?
I would say, like, based on, you know, the looks, the vibe, the energy, conversations, you know.
Based on compatibility, I would say Africa.
South Africa.
Tanzania has some nice ones too. It has some, and I would say women in Africa are looking to get married. A lot of the women on Tinder said, I am looking for a serious relationship. A lot of the women on Tinder said, I am not here for hookups. If you're looking for that, swipe left. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Now, the level of beauty that's in Colombia and Brazil is disgusting. If it's just based on beauty, golly, I could easily get caught up in either one of those countries. You know what I mean? But, you know, I would say compatibility, Africa. Beauty.
That's a big one.
Beauty is going to be, you know, South America.
Okay.
Now, maybe another one based on femininity and agreeability. Southeast Asia.
Say something to him. Say something to him.
Now I gave y'all a whole bowl of food to pick from: vegetables, meat, and starch.
You know, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm out here in Thailand. It's like my third month, man. So I'm really getting my, I'm really starting to, meet women and date more so now.
Right.
And just like, bro, I mean, man, it's amazing, bro. Like they gonna clean your whole spot up. Like they know when to be quiet. They know when to have conversations. They just break out and massage you all of a sudden. Like it's amazing out here, man.
Right.
They're very. I mean, basically.
They believe in taking care of the man without feeling used, abused, or taken advantage of. Where other women get it confused, where like, I feel like you're taking advantage of me. I feel like you're thinking less of me. I feel like, what I mean? That's the vibe I got out there with the women. And I've only been to Thailand and the Philippines. And I would say it's even more so in the Philippines than Thailand.
You the one that got me coming to Thailand, man. You were talking on the beach. Like Thailand.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
You glad you went, right?
Oh yeah, man. Most definitely, bro. It's amazing, man. Like I don't even know what I would do when I get back to America after. I couldn't date if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it.
Warning. When you travel around the world and experience other women, you're going to ruin yourself. Because it's going to be difficult for you to have a regular life outside of that. You're going to. I have not even tried to approach a woman in America in almost 4 years. I haven't had a relationship in America with a woman since I broke up with my wife. I didn't even try. And anytime I encounter a woman that reminds me of the attitude and sentiment of the women in America, I'm immediately turned off. And don't get me wrong, I am not one of those brothers that's like down in American women. You got beautiful. I think America got some of the most beautiful women in the world because we got a mixture of everybody. And they're good, sweet women in America, but it's just different now. You know what I'm saying? I don't bash American women at all. And trust me, black women are black women everywhere. The Latino black women got sass like the black women in America. You know what I'm saying? They all got it. I mean, some of the nastiest women I experienced around the country, still black women, whether they're in Dominican Republic, consider themselves black or not, or the Costeñas in Colombia. Some of them are real funky too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? But I just think black people got that little edge with them. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, that fiery spirit, that blood, man. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this: all the countries you've been to, if somebody said, "Hey, man, you got to move outside the states," which country would you choose to live in?
To live in. It would probably have to be Brazil or somewhere in Africa. I couldn't really see myself living in Southeast Asia. It's just too far.
Man, that's the only thing that's the catch.
It's too far.
Especially when people like be calling you and you be like, like right now it's nighttime out here.
Right.
I'm only 6 hours ahead of you, but I'm 12 hours ahead of the States.
Right.
So when people be calling you, they be wide awake. Hey, what's up, man? I'll be like, bro, I'm in the bed.
I don't think I could have a home in some places and stay for a few months, like Colombia and Dominican Republic. Cuba, if it was more developed, I kind of like the people there.
Oh man, let's talk about Cuba, man. Let's talk about Cuba.
Europe is too cold. I don't want to go nowhere where it's cold all the time. You know, when rainy all the time with jewelry, like parts of Europe I couldn't do.
Mm.
And I don't want to be around that many white people all the time. I want to be around some people with my color.
Like
you know what I'm saying? They
Brazil's the
speak a
perfect
different language. We have something in common.
Mm-hmm.
We have some type of bond back to the motherland. You know what I'm saying? So I need to see some black people.
Yeah. That's what I like about Brazil. Like you just blend in for the most part.
And not only that, people in Brazil and people in Cuba embrace their blackness.
Mm-hmm.
People, girls that I wouldn't even consider black, they'd be like, I'm black.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Whereas in
Especially
some countries, they want to do everything they can to deny their blackness. And I'm just talking color here.
Mm-hmm. Now, what made you decide to go to Cuba, man? That came out of nowhere. I didn't even know you was going to Cuba.
Well, Cuba, I've been to Cuba. That's my third time in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
So I know about Cuba. I know about the people in Cuba, the love of black people in Cuba. I know about the black people in Cuba embracing their blackness. I know about the Yoruba, which is changed to Santeria.
Mm-hmm.
It's people in Cuba more in touch with the motherland than people here in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They have the color, they have the flavor, they have the music. I mean, they have these circumstances based on their relationship or lack of relationship with America.
Mm-hmm.
But they got their culture, they got their money. It's places with money. They got a vibrant nightlife. They have a beautiful beach. You know, they're in the Caribbean. And I mean, if it wasn't for their relationship or lack of relationship with America, Cuba would be off the hook. Off. If that ever changes, Cuba will probably be ruined.
Did you mention something in the video in Cuba that you have a hard time? You can't get money out of ATM machines or something like that? Like
okay, Cuba has CUP, COOP. They used to have CUC, and they did away with that currency. That was the bad currency that sometimes they would try to give foreigners as change, which is worth nothing. Mm-hmm. So they did away with the CUC, and now they just have the CUP. Mm-hmm. Now, in Cuba, they don't accept the American dollar. Americans can't stay in the hotels there because the Helmsley Act and the embargo. But you can change your American dollars to CUP in the bank, but on the streets or in the bodegas, which they call cafeterias, mm-hmm. you will get a 95 to 1 rate because there are people in Cuba that are trying to move to other countries. And since their dollar isn't worth anything, they can't bring their dollar. So they'll pay premium for USD, for Euro, for Canadian. Mm-hmm. So right now is a great time to go because you're going to get a crazy bang for your buck. But it's still underdeveloped in some ways. Like it's hard to catch a taxi. The internet is challenging, although they have it. In the summer months, it's so hot. It was so hot one time I went in August, I left. I stayed 3 days and I went home. It was so hot. That was unbelievable. You know what I mean? But it's still beautiful. They still have the Latin flavor, the morenas.
Now, is it true that you can't, like Americans can't speak to the Cuban women in public or something like that?
No, that's not true.
Okay. So somebody tell me you had to walk behind them or something like that?
One time I was there a couple years ago. It was like 2019. And I met a girl in the club. And she said, go to the taxi and I'll meet you at the taxi. I can't walk to the taxi with you. Well, I was just there and that wasn't the case anymore. But that only happened once, and I've been there 3 times. So I don't know. But I was just there, and that didn't happen. And I met I had more encounters with females this time. You know what I'm saying? Because the first time I went, I was married. You know what I mean? The second time I went, I was separated or whatever. You know what I mean? So the first time I wasn't even there on that type of time. I just wanted to experience it. I wanted to have my Cuban cigars. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? The music, the culture, you know, that type of thing.
Okay. And does anybody, I know it's Spanish speaking country, but does anybody speak a little English out there?
Yeah, you'll find the most educated out of the Latin countries almost.
Really? Okay.
Because school is free. Cuba has the largest medical school that they allow people from all over the world to go to for free.
Nice.
Like, I met Shorty on the beach and she was starting medical school the next week, so we couldn't hook up. You feel me? Like, but they can't do. It's a lot of it's engineers and doctors who drive cabs in Cuba because taking care of foreigners, they can make more money than being a doctor. Because everybody makes around the same amount of money, no matter what your profession is. So everybody in Cuba has a side hustle.
Okay.
And I know what I'm saying isn't totally true because I don't have all the information, but there's some truth in what I'm saying.
Okay.
So don't come back and hit me with the you know.
Yeah, I saw you out there with your hoop game too, man. Is basketball pretty big out there?
Boxing is probably bigger.
Okay.
Soccer, but like we was with some semi-pro professional that some people that were on the Olympic team. We played some ball with the youth. I mean, they was doing their thing barefooted, dogs. Some of them even have shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, bro, you are
we was in some of the, you know, rough neighborhoods, you know, common neighborhoods, and people were cool with us, good to us. They was like, come play, you know, come play out. We want to see if y'all can play. We want to see our skill level. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that I'm an OG. You know what I'm saying? They had me out there huffing and puffing. I see you. Shout out to my brother James Guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see you. You hit a couple shots though, man. You spent a few.
Yeah. We had a little fun. I lost some of that video because I had video of the entire. We played like three. We played the best 2 out of 3, 3-on-3, but I can't find that footage for some reason. It's hard being on top of all this footage and trying to get it out in time. I still have about 5 videos to edit from Cuba, but I've been moving so much. I got to find some time to edit some of my backlog.
People don't understand, man. You generate so much content when you like constantly filming and you overseas, and then you go to another country, but you still got videos you can put out about the other country.
I know, and I'm trying to leave some of the stuff behind and just be a little more current, you know. But it's challenging. Like I still might have 1 or 2 more videos to do from Cape Town, and then I got to get to the stuff from Johannesburg.
Okay. All right, let me catch this super chat, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. I want to give a shout out to Delane Isaac with a $19 super chat, $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says, "Let's link up, Zoe. Great combo. You answered my question. I want to do an After Dark series soon, and you cleared up that idea. Which place has the biggest culture shock and why?"
Culture shock? That's a good question. I never looked at it.
To me personally, I think
you know what?
It was Brazil for me personally.
Brazil?
Yeah, it was for me. Yeah.
I don't think about it like that because I expect it. I expect it to be different. So I don't know. You know, like I expected all these places to be different. So I don't think I was ever shocked.
Okay.
I have to think about that. Nothing comes to mind that was shocking.
Okay. Yeah, but I know what you mean because, like I said, when I got to Brazil the first time, it was my first real big trip out of the country, and I was just the way it looked, like getting up, going, you know, from the airport to, you know, the Copacabana, like I was just like, wow, this looks crazy.
Oh, you know what was shocking? It was Japan. But I don't know if it was also shocking because it was my first international trip, and I was 18 years old. So, but the way the hotel was set up, the way the restaurants were set up, the way downtown Shibuya was set up, you know, just the electronic city they had, I think that was the most shocking culture change that I had, like coming out, all the taxis were Mercedes Benz. You know what I'm saying? Like that was really different going to Japan. I guess I think it was a combination of my first international flight and my being that age. So my memory would say Japan was definitely like, oh wow, like, you know, and then we was in a big group. It was like 15 of us. And it was shocking. We were walking around, people were looking at us. They thought we were basketball players because that was right at the peak of what started that whole hip hop influence on Japan. This was like 1989 or 1990.
Oh man, so you've been out there for a minute. You've been passport game for a minute.
Yeah, I definitely, because I was in the music industry, I traveled. And that led to international. That led for my love of travel. So even as a married man with children, my kids had their passport 1 and 3. They've been to Jamaica and all these, they've stamped, you know, and when you're that young, you have your passport only good for 5 years. So they're on their 3rd passport. You know what I'm saying? My kids, because now they're at the level of a 10-year passport, but they already went through 2 5-year passports being young and traveling with me and their mom. And my kids travel today with their friends and stuff because of that influence. And I never traveled. My mom had 6 kids, you know, it wasn't like we're all going to Europe. You know what I'm saying? But being that I had 2 children and I had already had a love for travel, I exposed them to it. You know, I even brought my son to Colombia, to Medellin when he was like 19 or 20. I brought my son with me. You know, I wanted him to experience some of what the world has to offer, you know, when it comes to options and women and all that stuff. I didn't want him to ever feel like
limited.
A woman could break him down. I wanted to let him know, like, homie, with a passport and a couple dollars, you can go to another country and get over that girl in a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have had a mentor like that when I was his age. I probably wouldn't have been married. Yeah.
Let me catch 5 super chats. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. Shout out to James G with the 5 super chat. He asked, besides this is in Southeast Asia, the best for lifestyle, the main issue is distance. What places have you been where you see a lot of future opportunities?
I would say it's a combination of being a foreigner and an ability to do business in those countries. So once you factor that in, most places that are considered third world, there's opportunity.
Okay. And he says, besides this is in Southeast Asia, is it the best for lifestyle? Is Southeast Asia the best for lifestyle?
I don't know. And this is all relevant to me to where you are in your life.
Good point.
Are you a digital nomad? Are you retired? Are you going to these countries to make a living off the currency in that country, or are you still dependent on the currency that you're making from the United States? So the question is a wide open question. Yeah, it all depends where you are in your life. Some of the YouTubers, they're content creators, they're not married, they don't have any children, they don't have any property in the States. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any businesses in the States. So you could just, you know what I'm saying? I call it global gallivanting. You know what I'm saying? You could do your damn thing. And me, I have adult children, I have a house, I have businesses. You know what I'm saying? So besides having family, you know, I have other things that I'm just not, you know, I can't just like, you know what I mean? And I'm still making using the American dollar to fund my travels and everything. You know what I mean? So it depends where you are. It depends. Do you have a profession that can support you to be a digital nomad? Can you have that laptop lifestyle like my brother Big Russ says, tailor-made dreams?
Facts. That's facts, man. Shout out to James G with $2 super chat. He says, "Do you listen to Nomad Capitalist at all? You familiar with Nomad Capitalist?"
Yes, I am, and I am subscribed to his channel. He basically tells you the best places you can get a passport, the best places you can get citizenship, how to go about it. That's what his channel is about. He has books, and I definitely listen to him. Shout out to Brick Jones. What's good, baby?
That's what's up. Well, they're coming in now. Anthony Lewis with the $5. I think that's the British pound. He says, "This is one of my favorite BMT episodes. Shout out to BMT and Zoe, man. I appreciate that. Super chat.
Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Brick Jones in the building. What's up, fam? Let him know.
What's up, Brick Jones?
Shout out to Brick Jones, man. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Shout out to all the travelers that like to share information. Because I would say I don't do it on my own. Everywhere I go, somebody that watches my channel, or they know someone that's in that country, that's experienced that country, they send me loads of information on where to go, where to stay. And sometimes it gets confusing because some of the opinions conflict with one another. You know what I mean? But it's good to have all that information to disseminate.
I know exactly what you're saying. Like when somebody says, "Hey, don't go there. It might be dangerous." The other person says, "Oh man, you'll be fine there," or stuff like that, right?
Even down to people saying, "Stay in this area." No, stay in this area.
Oh yeah.
I mean, here in South Africa, between the people I met, South Africans, and the Americans who visited, I mean, I got like, it's impossible for me to go to all the restaurants, all the clubs, all the lounges that they suggested. Even the safaris. It's like mad different safaris. I'm just not going to go to any this time around. I'm going to wait till summertime.
Okay. We got another super chat by James G. $2 super chat. What countries would you buy property? Appreciate that.
I've come very close in Brazil. It just didn't work out. I did serious investigations in Colombia and in Dominican Republic. It just nothing. I hope to own property in all three, so I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I've been to those places enough times, and some of the times I am there on business. You know, and shout out to the people who be like, "Oh, you be going to the same countries." It's my prerogative. I go to the same countries all the time because I like the country.
Right. Shout out to Old Track with a $2 super chat. Where to go after you've been broken down by women? All right.
Good question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Good question. I would say
Colombia.
If you're looking for just to get over, the big three, any of the big three, Dominican Republic, Colombia, or Brazil. If you're just looking to get over the woman. Now, if you're looking for a serious relationship, I wouldn't suggest any of those three. Maybe Brazil, but I would not suggest Dominican Republic. I would not suggest Colombia. Maybe Brazil, but not Rio de Janeiro. Might want to go to Fortaleza or something like. You don't want to go to Rio. Maybe Sao Paulo. I don't know.
Man, Rio too fast, man. The women in Rio, what they want to do, bro.
So it depends where you're going, man. If you just want to get over her, any of the big three will do. You'll be over her in a week.
In a week. Especially in Colombia, you'll be over there. Shout out to Old $1.99 super chat. He says, "Great live, bros. Zoe, which is your favorite country?"
Pound for pound, I would say Brazil. But for excitement and fun, Thailand is up there. And then I guess Colombia is number 3. And then we could, the others are, close second, 4th, 5th, and 6th. That could vary. I I could change that based on how many times I visit these other countries and explore. But for like the wow factor, Thailand. For all around, you know, Brazil and then Colombia.
Okay. Best. What's the best country with the best like strip club? You know what I mean? Like
strip clubs.
Yeah, strip club. Well, you know what I mean by strip clubs. They're not really strip clubs overseas, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I would say Brazil.
Brazil all day. Yep.
Yeah, Brazil.
I've seen some of the most amazing designer women in Brazil in my life, bro.
But in Thailand, they have the most options. Because it could go from massage, soapy massage, a go-go, beach road, soys, walking street, you know what I mean? And then regular. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many options. That is ridiculous. Where I don't think you have that many different types of options to encounter women in these other countries.
And you know, Thailand just legalized weed too out here, marijuana out here. Yeah, that's man. So crazy. Yeah, so now it's like it's really everybody excited about it.
But do they have good weed?
I don't know. I don't smoke, but you know.
Yeah, like some places don't have good weed. You know, like Brazil, they have hashish or whatever. They don't.
Brazil
they don't have good weed in Brazil. Yeah, they don't have good weed in Dominican Republic.
No.
And I don't think they have
Colombia, I've heard, have this decent weed. You know.
You know what? A girl told me they do have good weed in Brazil, but it's very expensive. Like a dub, it's going to cost $100. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. All right. Get your last thoughts, Zoe, as far as what they can be looking for in the future from your channel.
Okay, Barber World. I changed the name from simply Barber World TV to International Zoe Barber World TV. I did that because, you know, to help the algorithm, because nothing in the title says that I'm a travel channel. Initially, the channel was more about traveling and showing barbershops, but that got kind of boring. And it was more fun doing the other things. So I'm introducing the title, the International, to help the search engine. I'm probably going to phase it out at some point. I'm still on the fence about that. I'm also doing a 360 channel because everywhere I go, I get 360 footage. It's the future. Soon you're going to be watching stuff with Oculus goggles. Trust me. 360 is amazing. Like it's gonna mess you up because you can literally sit there with the goggles on and turn around, and a woman coming this way, you just filming, and you with the goggles on, you could turn around and look at the front and the back. If you're in a place, a beach, a mountaintop, or street, you can literally there's people who have 360 footage up where you can move it with your hand, your finger. It's nothing like wearing the goggles. It's nothing like that. So I'm gonna have a 360 channel. I have Barber World 360. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it on there, but I'm gonna eventually start uploading. I have at least 6 countries of 360 footage in certain areas. And it's gonna be amazing. So I got the 360 channel, stay tuned for, and I'm touring with International Zoe Show, where we're gonna do all the lives. Okay. So that's the information I want to share with you guys. And I'll probably make a public announcement on my channel when I get these things going. But just stay tuned for me to be true to myself, travel where I can. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the brothers I meet in these countries that are traveling, that influence my travel, that watch the channel. I meet a lot of brothers that watch the channel. It's amazing. You know what I mean? I don't think I've run into somebody here in South Africa who watches my channel, but most countries I go to, I run into somebody that watches my channel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's happened here, but a lot of places I run into people that watch the channel. I just want to say thanks for your support. Thank you, Aaron, for doing what you do, and your contribution to a travel community of Black men. You know what I'm saying? We applaud what you do, and what you do is necessary as well. You know what I mean? And all those who inspire me and others to travel. And I just want to say to the brothers, show some respect to yourself, show some respect to the countries you enter. The flashing and throwing the money and being loud and obnoxious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cut that out.
Have fun, but understand that, still do it with some class and some respect, because we're either making a good impression on Black Americans to these other countries or bad.
Facts. All facts, man. Let me catch these last couple of comments. We're going to get on up out of here. Lawrence says, so let me get this straight. You want the South African intelligence, the Brazilian body, Colombian face, and Thailand submissiveness. Yes, we want all that. And he been listening to hard. He got his whole little playbook together. Shout out to Lawrence, man. Shout out to Lawrence. Let me catch this super chat by Grego. Grego in the building. He says, Colombia.
Grego.
Colombia number 2. Thailand number 3, Brazil number 4, but don't go to Medellin. It's too dangerous.
I respect that.
You're going to keep people out of Medellin, boy. Shout out to Black Kangaroo with a $5. I think that's a pound right there, man. I really appreciate that. I enjoy seeing other Black men out there traveling. Keep up the adventures, brothers. Man, appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. Black Kangaroo. Where you in Australia?
Yeah, I think he's in Australia. Yeah, look, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, man, once again, man, appreciate you coming on the show, bro. It's been a classic. Definitely got to do this again next time. We're going to catch up with one of your other adventures. Maybe you'll be in another country at that point, man.
For sure.
Appreciate you coming on, bro. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, hit that. All right, fellas, we are out of here.
As you can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be. We'll be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just happened to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I gotta do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt, because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Blackmen Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more.